The most fearless wolf I ever met was terrified of everything. He could outrun any hunter, could track prey for miles without stopping, could howl loud enough to echo across 3 valleys. But one thing made him freeze: being happy. Growth doesn't feel good. It feels wrong, like wearing shoes that don't fit yet. This is a story about a wolf who finally got everything he wanted and almost ran away from it because his old pain was comfortable and his new peace terrifying. Stick with me, because if you've ever felt lost right when things started going right, this one will hit different. Let me introduce you to Riku, a young wolf with gray fur and tired eyes. Riku lived alone in a small den at the edge of silent forest. No pack, no family nearby, just him, his thoughts, and a cracked wooden bowl he ate from every night. He told himself he liked being alone. Wolves are stronger alone, he'd say. But every morning he'd wake up before sunrise, not because he was ready, because he couldn't sleep. And every night he'd stare at the ceiling until his eyes burned. Here's what Riku was avoiding. He had been hurt a long time ago, a pack that rejected him, a family that didn't fight for him. And instead of healing, Riku built a fortress around his heart. He told himself, if I don't need anyone, no one can leave me. Brilliant logic, terrible life. Here's the one thing. When you've been hurt, your brain starts to trust pain more than peace, because pain is predictable. You've been there before. You know the shape of it, the weight of it. But peace, kindness, safety, those feel foreign, and your brain mistakes foreign for dangerous. Riku didn't avoid connection because he hated people. He avoided connection because connection felt like stepping off a cliff. And his body, it screamed, go back to what you know, even if what you know hurts. One rainy afternoon, Riku met someone he couldn't ignore, a small rabbit named Lumi. Pink ears, big eyes, annoyingly cheerful. She had fallen into a muddy ditch near Riku's den. Not hurt, just stuck. And instead of crying, she laughed. Well, she said, looking up at Riku's scowling face, this is embarrassing. You're gonna help me or just stand there looking dramatic? Riku blinked. No one had ever talked to him like that. He pulled her out, mud everywhere, his den, his fur, his pride. Lumi invited herself in, made tea from herbs she found outside, sat on his only cushion like she owned it, and then she asked the question Riku had been running from for years. Why are you alone? Riku's jaw tightened. I like it. No, you don't, Lumi said. Not mean, just honest. Your eyes are lonely. I've seen lonely before. You're not protecting yourself. You're punishing yourself. For the first time in years, Riku had nothing to say. You feel that uncomfortable pinch? That's what happens when someone really sees you. Not the mask, not the story you tell, the you underneath. It's terrifying, and it's also the first step. Confrontation doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it's a rabbit with pink ears saying, I see you hiding, and I'm not leaving. Riku wanted to push her away. Every instinct told him, run. She'll leave eventually. Leave first. But something stopped him. Maybe he was tired of running. Maybe her tea was really good. Maybe, just maybe, a tiny part of him whispered, what if she stays? Weeks passed, and Lumi kept coming back. She didn't try to fix Riku, didn't give lectures. She just existed near him. They walked through the forest together, sat by the river, watched fireflies at dusk. And slowly, painfully, Riku started to feel something he had forgotten: safety. But here's where the story twists. Instead of feeling good, Riku felt worse. He started sleeping badly again, snapping at Lumi for no reason, pacing his den at night like a caged animal. One evening, he exploded. Why do you keep coming here? He shouted. I'm not kind, I'm not fun, I'm broken. Leave me alone. Lumi didn't flinch. She just looked at him with those big eyes and said, You're not broken, Riku. You're just not used to being loved yet. And that's not your fault. But it is your responsibility. Now let me say this directly to you. Have you ever gotten what you wanted and felt worse? A promotion, a relationship, a new city, and instead of relief, you felt panic? That's not ingratitude. That's your nervous system catching up. You've spent years building walls to survive, and now someone is handing you a door, but your hands don't know how to hold it because you've never practiced opening, only closing. Riku wasn't angry at Lumi. He was angry at the version of himself that didn't know how to receive love. And that anger was the beginning. That night, Riku sat alone in his den. No pacing, no shouting, just silence. This time, he didn't run from it. He let himself remember. The rejection, the loneliness, the years of telling himself he didn't need anyone. And then, he let himself feel something new. Grief. Not for what he lost, but for what he had been missing. Connection, warmth, someone who chose him. He cried intensely, and when he finished crying, he understood something. He wasn't afraid of being hurt again. He was afraid of being happy, because happiness meant he had something to lose, and losing something after having it, that hurt worse than never having it at all. But here's what he realized. Never having it at all is its own kind of death. Growth feels uncomfortable because you've never been this version of yourself before. Your old self knew how to survive pain. Your new self has to learn how to receive joy. And learning is messy. It's awkward. It's crying on your den floor at 2 a.m. But that discomfort is not a sign you're going backwards. That's a sign you're growing into a bigger shape. And bigger shapes take time to fill. The next morning, Riku walked to Lumi's den. His paws felt heavy. His heart was loud in his ears. She opened the door, pink ears drooping. She thought he had come to say goodbye. Riku took a breath. "I don't know how to do this," he said. "I don't know how to let someone in. I've been alone so long that being with you feels like a dream I'm going to wake up from." Lumi waited. "But I want to learn," Riku said. "I want to try, even if I'm bad at it, even if I mess up, because running away, that's the real death, and I'm tired of being dead while I'm still alive." Lumi smiled. "That's all I ever wanted to hear," she said. She stepped aside, let him in. And for the first time in years, Riku didn't feel like he was trespassing in someone's life. He felt like he belonged. Here's what I need you to take from this. Being broken isn't because growth feels uncomfortable. Being weak isn't because peace scares. It is simply because you are becoming someone you've never been before. And that person doesn't know the old rules. They have to learn new ones. Riku spent years believing he didn't need anyone, but the truth was simpler and sadder. He didn't think he deserved anyone. That's the lie, and it's the only lie that matters. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to be chosen. You deserve to feel safe, even when your hands are shaking. Growth doesn't ask you to be brave all at once. It just asks you to stay. One more day. One more conversation, one more moment of honesty. The wolf learned to let the rabbit in. Now it's your turn to ask, who am I keeping out? And what if I finally let them stay? If this story hits something inside you, don't scroll past it. That's not weakness. That's your next version knocking. Share this with someone who acts tough but feels everything. They need to hear it. And if you want more stories that don't give you easy answers, but give you honest ones, subscribe and hit the bell. Because growth is uncomfortable, but so is staying the same. You already know which one is worth it. See you in the next one.